Well, hello, me lovelies. It's me, Ned Natter, with the unpasteurised and unfiltered Ned Natter Radio Show, ready to brighten your day. First up, it's great to be here with you again. Thanks for your lovely comments and messages. It's time for a good old natter. But remember, I don't chat about the regular news and current affairs. Oh no. I might have a bit of odd news for you though. But you don't want me repeating everything you've already seen and heard, do you? I'm here to give you a break from it all, a good laugh, even when it's only once a week on a Wednesday. Remember though, you can always listen to my shows again. Yep, they're all saved for you nicely at nednatter.com. Yep, okay, well, put everything down. Everything, I mean you too, come on. It's time for the Ned Natter Show, and you can't miss this. Here on the farm, life goes on, and for the wife Elsie, that means working on her latest diet. Yep, she's well underway with the Think It Away diet. She's happy to stay on the sofa, all right? Yep, thinks she's losing weight. Oh dear. Well, this week she took to thinking in an armchair. It seemed to work better than any of her diets so far. Why? Well, she got stuck in it for 5 hours. It took me, Ding Dang, me farmhand, and this week's farm visitor, Cardamom P. Do you remember him? Me Indian rapper, C-store owner buddy. Yep, bit of a mouthful that, isn't it? Another hour it took us to get her free. Yep, she didn't eat for a whole 6 hours. We had to give up on pushing and pulling and used a crowbar in the end, No, not on Elsie, no. We broke the arms off the chair to get her free. The first thing she did was rush to the fridge. Yep. Find something for the microwave. Cardamom P was a surprise visitor. He reckons his convenience store, that's called Pashana's Quick Stop, is suffering since he decided to become a rapper. It's because when he asks a customer if they'd like something wrapped up, they think he's just about to rap, not rap with a W. So they end up steering clear of his little store, just in case, Oh dear. Well, you think that's bad? The latest news is worse when me dubious conman agent, 50%, heard Cardamom on my show, and he's been trying to sign him up as a new client. Naturally, I've suggested to me Indian neighbour to run in the opposite direction. See, older 50% has got a nasty habit. Well, to be honest, he has a few. But the worst one is promising you the earth and giving you, well, let's just say, not much. Yep, it's a cliché, all right. Of course, when it comes to me mother old Nan, she loves the standard diet still, whiskey, cigarettes and gambling. Yep. Added to that, she's still not home. Oh no, shit. She took more than a week ago and went off to the casino. Yeah, she's still there. Yeah. To use her words, she's in the pink. Even the dealers fold the moment the old crow brings her poker face on, She's discovered this Seminole hard rock place in Tampa. Oh dear. Well, only a couple of hours away. See, she even found a limo company to take her there, so she's wagering her own cash. She's pretty shrewd old bird though, and the casino have given her this nice room close to the elevator, and she's staying put and still on the winning streak, she reckoned. Well, with free booze and accommodation, and she's allowed to smoke too, she's in her element. Anyway, I got a call only yesterday with an update. The old crow's really feathering her nest down there in Tampa. Believe it or not, she's still on that winning streak, and she loves to brag about it. She's been hitting the loose slots and attacking the poker tables night and day. Well, probably literally in her case anyway. Getting a call from her is always a one-sided affair though, I must say. She's deaf anyway, but on the phone she's a lot worse. All I can do is listen until she finally signs off with her usual screech. It's deafening. Yep. Just picture I suppose a cuckoo showing up and trying to shove her out of her nest, something like that. Yeah, I quite enjoy not seeing the old bag each morning, noon and night, The smoke pollution indoors has dropped by half too. Adds that the brown old Nan smokes, smells like, I suppose burning carpet anyway. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Of course, it's quite peaceful without Nan around, but I've still got Elsie, grumbling on between meals. Mind you, I heard a loud gunshot a couple of nights ago. Yeah, not from her, but since then, that old Chuck Will's widow, that bird that's been driving me mad in the tree, is silent. Yeah. I don't like, folks killing any kind of wildlife, really. But that thing had it coming to it. On the other hand, on her favourite subject, food, of course, Elsie's offering up her private recipes again, ideas for cooking. Yep. She still thinks everyone's like her, thinking about food, nothing else, and, giving up those burnt offerings, the old cookbook from the swamp routine. Oh dear, well, I still cook my own food and leave her to that cosy relationship with the microwave. Here's the next of her so-called recipes. Yep. Elsie's cooking cock-ups. So, warm up your microwave and stand well clear in the cooking process. Yep, usually I stay in the barn behind a concrete wall. The recommended distance is at least 50 feet away. Further the better. This time, it's Elsie's curry surprise. Before I go on, I should mention, so that I'm still able to do my show here, the Ned Natter Show. I never eat anything the wife cooks, no. I think I'd blow up like a balloon, probably even burst myself. Anyway, this time me Indian rapper buddy Cardamom P reckons Elsie's gone too far with one of his native food favourites. He says she's about to give curry a bad name. Of course I said, well, Pashana, that's his real name, Anyway, don't worry. Elsie gives everything she cooks a bad name, to be honest. Yeah, she gives cooking a bad name, full stop. She only uses spices to hide the flavour of what she does cook. Anyway, I'm getting away from the surprise recipe here, aren't I? So right then, this time she's written it all down on a sheet of kitchen roll, is it? Yeah. Oh dear. Well, anyway, it's a scrawl, all right, but with the old black ink, it's sort of run out into the paper fibres, and it's very difficult to read. Anyway, let's have a go. First, I need to remind you though that Elsie's stuck with the old microwave. No conventional oven or kitchen gadgets, and that severely limits some of her ideas. So she ends up borrowing the odd thing from me to make it happen. Anyway, we'll see what happens here. Right, so first up, put 3 dozen eggs into a very large microwave dish. I wonder where they'd be going anyway. Elsie likes the really deep and wide plastic or rubber dog bowls. Yeah, oh dear. Anyway, then we'll whisk it all up. And for that task, Elsie's borrowed the electric drill again. Put a little whisk on the end of it, give it a good old blast, then add the all-important ingredients, the extras, the surprise part that is. Pounded cheese, can of pre-cooked rice, can of potatoes, can of peas, can of kidney beans, 2 pots of yogurt, 1 of cream, gets worse. Then add the seasoning. Right, let's have a look at this list. Oh dear. Dried onion, garlic paste. What we got here? Oh dear. Turmeric, ginger, cardamom, cloves, salt, pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, chili powder, A1 steak sauce, ketchup, and mustard. Oh dear. Oh, it goes on here, right? Soy sauce, vinegar, barbecue sauce, and a jar of ready-made tikka masala paste. Ooh. Mix it all in together with the electric drill again, I suppose, and then cook it in the microwave for about 20 minutes. Once it's ready, take it out of the oven. The old crowbar or shovel always comes in handy, doesn't it? Then she says add a cup of maple syrup and chopped walnuts. Elsie seems to enjoy nuts with everything. Anyway, at that point, she said it's ready to eat. By the way, as I've mentioned before, the Ned Natter Show will not be held responsible for the results. No, Elsie's cooking is undertaken at your own risk. It not only needs a strong stomach, it needs an even stronger oven. And if possible, a standalone concrete bomb-proof building. Staying on the family front when she's not complaining about, just pick a subject and she complains about it. That's me, 95-year-old mother, old Nan. Well, the miserable old crow has got a little feature on my show. Old Nan Remembers. Oh dear. Drunk or sober, this time old Nan's memories about when she could hear properly. Oh dear. In other words, she wasn't as deaf as a post. Well, Her mother, was the same. The female side of the family's mostly deaf. Yep, that's the death family. I mean, it's spelled with a TH, not an F. Only they tried to make it sound better by pronouncing it D-Arth. Yep, several of them are stupid too. On the other hand, a bunch of them are dead now. That runs in the family too. When old Nan could hear, well, it was already on the way out, I suppose, That was her hearing, We'd say things behind her back, and the next thing was a clout round the ear from one of her gnarly old fists, My brother Buck and I could never understand it, see. Well, when you said something to her face, she couldn't hear a word you're saying. Say it behind her, and she could. We end up reckoning she had her, ears on back to front. Yeah, well, they are funny looking to say the least, but we put that down to the fact that the old crow used to like boxing when she was younger. Oh dear, well, mostly defending the family name, I suppose, One fist was called Diath, the other was called Hospital. Oh dear, cauliflower anyone. Yeah, her ears definitely looked like that. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Quinton, me amateur artist, camper, tenant and now writer, and me fireman Ding Dang are back on cabbage duty. Yeah, we've still got a bad combination of excessive eating, owing at nearly 100 degrees down here today, No shade, and the weeds are overtaking us. I just hope they don't get into another fight about something, Me farmhands, I mean not the greens, Anyway, Quentin stopped painting and now he's writing poetry. You remember me saying about it. His collection of poems is now grown to 100. Yeah, well, Cabbage Life it's called, is increasing by more than a few poems a day. Oh dear, it's got something to do with his depression apparently. Anyway, he's finally given me one to read on my show, and he's edited out every expletive, he says. Well, I'll be looking out for them F's, Quentin, so just bear with me. So here goes. It's called The Cabbages. Right then, me lovelies, let me try and get this right. Right. All I can see is cabbages. At me feet, nothing but greens. The weeds amongst them, a scent to savage my soul. The caterpillars driven to devour my little emerald charges. As I watch on, helpless, whilst the vigorous crickets slash away at my leaves, leaving me naked, bleeding in the sun, cabbages at my feet. Oh well, the F words seem to have disappeared from that one at least. In the meantime, I've now got Quinton's partner Coagulate working on my latest project. Yep, strawberries for my own pick your own part of the farm. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show. When I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Well, that lovely twangy old music means it's time once again for my book reviews. Yep, I got my hands on a few and I'm featuring them right here. Just remember though, I haven't got a star system, no, mine's nice and simple. Yep, you don't need to say it, just like me. Yep, simple. Anyway, if the book's shite, it goes on me compost heap. Sometimes if it's really bad, I have to burn it. Middle of the road books, usually throw them in me charity giveaway box, and the good or reasonable ones stay on me farm library shelf. Anyway, I hope it's all nice and clear for you. Right, this time I thought, well, with summer upon us, we'd feature a couple of holiday books, and these will surprise you. But I need to remind you that these books I've chosen are for what I'd call the more adventurous traveller. So be careful, okay? So here goes. Okay then, my first book is called The Hitchhiker's Guide to Iraq by someone called I Got Lost. Yep, I got it mailed for review by someone who's hoping to benefit, I suppose, from the tourist dollars, but, wants to remain anonymous in the process. After having a flick through, all I can see was they wanted to remain anonymous for a reason. Oh dear, the photos, they speak for themselves, and it's hardly what you call backpacking heaven. The old map, and it's useful. Only most of the points of interest, the buildings at least, are missing. You get to check lots of rubble though. The upside here is carrying a tent. Yep, makes for free and more like the only accommodation available every night of the week. The downside, getting searched every 100 yards because that's a suspicious backpack. Yep, just remember, always carry a digital alarm clock on your travels, not one of the ticking kinds. Right, well, I think I'm going to keep this one just for fun, eh? Farm library shelf for that one, right. So, my second book this time around is called Partying in Afghanistan by A. Risk. It's a book about the chances of getting stoned in a country not exactly renowned for its party scene. Yep, they take stoning very seriously. There's information about the best hotels. Oh dear, sorry, I mean hotel. Yep, the singular variety. It's called the Taliban International. Yep. Not exactly what you call a 5-star, closer to what you'd call shabby chic, or maybe closer to shabby scruffy. One thing's for sure, it's got great air conditioning. Yep, big holes in every wall. It has that sort of, what you call it, a war zone feel. Yep, so all you paintball enthusiasts will be in your element. Anyway, I've decided to keep this one in my farmhouse library. Why, you ask? Well, see, I'm thinking of booking Elsie's summer vacation pretty soon. Well, my lovelies, that's all on my book review feature this time. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. I got a few regular features on my show now, as you remember. I hope you enjoy them. First up is me cliché of the day and me interpretation of it. Yeah, about 15 minutes of fame. You've heard that one. Why? Because it's all me poor old buddy Cardamom P, the rapper, has got out of his entire career so far. Also, I've got me Anomalies from around the world feature for you. Yeah, well, so this time me anomaly comes all the way from Namibia. That's in Southwest Africa, in case you don't know. I just hope you're not eating right now, because this might interfere with your digestion. Well, why? Because it's a little local speciality, and it's called Warthog Anus. Oh dear, this is the worst so far on my show. I'm not even sure if you really want the gory details. Anyway, here goes, right? I've given you ample warning. So, the old Namibian tribesmen, they go out and murder a local unsuspecting warthog, Then they bring it home to an open fire where they cook about a foot of intestine with the anus. And they don't actually clean it too well first either, There's no fresh running water out there in the bush, I suppose. Well, yeah, disgusting, all right. The bit that gets me, though, is that most normal people, I think, would start eating other more edible parts, of what is really a giant, ugly-looking pig first, wouldn't you? I mean, there's certain bits I want to avoid anyway. I think it's one or two things. It's either some weird primitive fetish they got there, which I doubt. More like they just like to get unsuspecting tourists. They've even had travelling chefs down there and other stupid naive folks who visit the region, and say, oh, look at those primitive, stupid people, So the locals tell them, well, we're going to punish these people and tell them to eat shite. Well, they stand there and have a good bleeding laugh. White people will eat anything if you tell them it's our primitive custom, or better still, tell them it's an aphrodisiac. Going back to hideous things, though, well, let's just say Ding Dang me farmman is one of them. Yep. We're not going to escape, his quote of the week either. Oh dear, Ding Dang wants to have his little spot on me show. Yep, it's nasty and you don't want to hear him or see this week's spot or spots. So I'm going to relay it for you again. Ding Dang's southern quote this time is, she's so ugly, she'd make a freight train take a dirt road. All I can say to that is Ding Dang's taste in women varies, but when he says a woman's ugly, she must be the ugliest person you've ever seen on earth. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show. When I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. By the way, I'm still having these really weird dreams. My most recent nightmare was about me distant con-man relative Skip Natter. Yep. He'd sold 500 people on day trips to the moon. All this publicity about space travel recently. They'd all arrived here at the farm gate asking me for their money back or else. Now, I wonder if that's just a nightmare or it could be a premonition, knowing Skip and his little games. Anyway, I just send Elsie out there with him, One look at her. And even her loaded shotgun. And they'd be soon on the run. But after heading over to Rush's Stonewall Jackson farm, I realised it wasn't as bad a nightmare listening to old Rush. Yeah. He's always got something to say, and he hasn't got that porta potty in the front yard still, so he's rushing off behind trees and stuff. Oh well, I guess it'll be sooner this time again. Anyway, the poor old mucker's still paying attention to his more straightforward political agenda, and he goes straight into his latest far-fetched second-hand news from right centre. His people, they're focused on this thing of getting votes, and they got these seniors sorted out by doing this thing with IHOP and lunch, bussing them in there. They got votes from the hospitals and these people that are supposed to drive them there. You remember that one. And then they got the school kids. They're getting them organised, and then they've got people going out and putting them in the information, the wills. Try and get the posthumous votes. Just got completely out of hand till last week. We got to the advertising campaign, 24 for 24, and they're telling potential GOP voters to register for a chance at winning that prize, a free 24-minute tour of the Fox News studios. So anyway, so now Rush has decided that after listening to me show, his folks should take advice from me. I thought, what on earth is this going to be? So of course, I thought he was joking, but he reckons that I said it's time some new blood came down on the farm. They should take that message to their people and say it's time some new blood entered politics. I'm listening, but who thinks there's any chance of that ever happening, eh? I'm not commenting any further this time around. I reckon Rush's folks are still considering that recall of him instead. Oh well, and before he rushed off behind that poor old Granddaddy Oak, I was treated to Rush's latest little feature, a Tennessee teaser, his own home-run style of humour. Yep, this time it's I've been running all over hell's half acre. Oh dear, well Rush must be talking about how busy he is because he's, with his voter plans. In fact, Rush, he's got 100 acres. Anyway, yep, he doesn't really care who he insults, especially when it comes to his favourite political brand. But on the other hand, old Lonnie, nudist Fred's true blue Democrat blind housemate, is back home and feasting on well-fed rabbits. Yep, they're all stuffed with me lovely cabbages, and Ding Dang shot too many to eat already. Rabbits, that is, not greens. Anyway, they've got a new problem. Old Lonnie's been setting snares around me cabbages so he can have his own rabbits. Lonnie's sick of getting a mouthful of Ding Dang's buckshot. So now Lonnie's getting bored with rabbit, and he's asked all me farmhands to collect up the crickets and the caterpillars, in a big old bag for him. He reckons they're good at eating. Well, up there with roadkill, I suppose. Well, you've heard of surf and turf, Well, Elsie's grazed on plenty of that when she was raiding the old Las Vegas buffets. Well, Lonnie calls his special slime and crunch. Oh dear. Lonnie's not given Rush anything to worry about again, because he's keeping away from the Democrat camp for a few weeks. But Rush never forgets, oh no, he's still hoping to protect the country against Lonnie and others who've got lax ideas on immigration with his GoFundMe page. Oh dear, to buy the extra barbed wire, you remember, for the entire length of the US-Mexico border? Well, this week the total is up to $15,000. Yep, a massive increase after only 6 weeks of trying. Yep, there's an anonymous donor in the wings apparently, so Rush needs less than 300k now for the first strand. I reckon this secret donor is from the folks who manufacture the barbed wire. Oh dear, don't tell Rush. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Me lovely vegan neighbour young Alice Jones, yep, Miss Jones to you. It's all sounding like a 70s Philly soul song, only she's still free and single. Well, she's invited me over to her farm again, for the old fair trade coffee and vegan cake. Mercury in retrograde is over, and the summer solstice is here. Added to that, she just redid me horoscope. She's forecast that upturning me fortunes with cabbage and strawberries, but on the downside, or maybe it's an upside if it was possible, She's suggesting I ask that Tampa Casino to adopt old Nan as a permanent mascot to help with me stress. Nice idea. And maybe find a way of moving our Elsie the wife to one of those nice new apartments they just built next to the Walmart. Oh dear, well, Alice, wishful thinking, eh? This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show. And when I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Well, me lovelies, I'm always getting nice messages, questions and odd news items from you, me listeners, and I feature them on my shows. They're still pouring in, and I pick a few that catch me eye each time. And if I don't fit yours, just remember there's only one of me. Yep, I got all here on the Ned Natter Show. Right then, the first item comes from Greta in Gollenberg, Germany. Ooh. She's wondering about this ridiculous article she read about people in France doing solar-powered raves. Well, Greta, it's ridiculous for a couple of reasons, isn't it? First, I thought all raves were powered by mind-altering drugs. And second, most of them happen at night, don't they? Mind you, if you're that stoned, you might not notice if it's day or night. Even if the music stopped, when the sun set. Oh well, they're probably hearing some kind of music anyway, even if we can't. My second item comes from Kevin in Kalamazoo. I love that name. He's letting me know about the world's first flying electric car race. Oh dear, Kevin, I thought electric cars had enough trouble on terra firma. If the thing stops on the ground, at least you can go to someone's home or business, plug in, steal their electricity for a recharge and not tell them. They only find out, don't they, when they get the next bill, and you're long gone by then. But in the air, well, I've heard of in-flight refueling, haven't you? With the military aircraft, stuff like that. But in-flight recharging, it's going to need one hell of a long extension lead, isn't it? This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Me dubious conman agent 50% has lined me up with a new ad this week. It's rather off topic and pretty much aimed at, well, let's just say people that want to go into politics this time round. Oh well, here goes. Are you interested in a political career? Well, give us a try at Windbags Inc. We specialise in training folks that want to enter the political arena at any level. We'll bring you out of the shade and put you on the political stage. We have unique courses for beginners where we actually teach you how to speak for 15 minutes without really saying anything. For advanced folks, we've got special courses on how to misspeak, and get away with it, how to pass the buck, how to get an intern to take the blame, and how to always tell folks what they want to hear. Visit us today at putsomewindinyoursails.org. Windbags have got 50 years experience, and to date we've never been impeached or recalled. Reach out to us today. Oh dear, I thought there was enough wind, or is it just gas in politics already? This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and whichever way you dice it, the Ned Natter Show is unpasteurised and unfiltered. But that's all, me lovelies, and on that note, I better go. So until next time, remember farmers are getting older, some more than others. It's time some new blood came down on the farm and gave us an hand. Shite matters. Without us, you wouldn't have anything to eat. Without me, your Wednesdays won't be much fun. In the meantime, you can always find me and all my radio shows at nednatter.com. Yeah, they're all saved for you there. There's podcasts too, so make it easy. Added to that, there's me social media links, so come by and say hi. It'll be great to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope you'll join me again on the Ned Natter Show again. So until then, keep a smile on your face, think positive, and don't sweat the small stuff. The grass is not always greener on the other side. It might just be a freeway. Goodbye, my lovelies.